Okay guys, I'm here today with Gordon Ryan, huge honor for me. Guys, today he's gonna show us here one of his favorite techniques for no-gi, and that's exactly the one he used in the finals of the Adcc against Keenan Cornelius. And guys, I think everybody knows who's this guy is, and he's probably like one of the toughest or the toughest guy in no-gi nowadays. And he's also putting the gi on, and he started doing the gi as well. And I just rode with him and I got really surprised with him how well he's doing with gi as well. So I'm very excited to learn from him, and let's do it.
Okay, so one of the things that John always teaches us, John Danaher, is to play the dilemma between the front headlock and back attack systems. Okay, so if my opponent's on his knees and I have a front headlock, if he has his hands on the floor, guillotines become easy. But as soon as his hands come up to fight my hands, that's when the back attack come in and we start going for our partner's back. Okay, so we have the dilemma between a front headlock and a back attack system. All right, so the whole thing that we were drilling before ADCC was ways to go from not only front headlocks, but to go to the back, or to go from the back into front headlocks. So one of the things that I used in the finals against Keenan Cornelius was he shot it on a single, and I started coming around and going for an arm and guillotine. Okay, like so. Now, he let go of the single. A few times in the matches, I got to a position where I was ready to go into guillotines from here. But the problem was, I set into a sumigeshi, which left our bodies in one straight line. So we went over the shoulders, and we ended here. So now my hips are very far away from his hips. When I go to bring my hips over and step into mount, he was able to hand fight enough to when the guillotine would come open, and then I wasn't able to go into my finishes. So I changed it up after a few failed attempts, and I started using an ukewaza instead, where from here, I take my left foot and I block my partner's leg. So as I sit to the floor, we land in this T position, where now my hips are much closer to his. Now all I have to do to get on top is post my forehead, come off my knees, and now step over into a mounted position. And from here, we come in and we get strong finishes with our arm and guillotines. Okay? So we made a transition. I noticed I failed the sumigeshi a few times, so we came in and we started going with ukewazas. Where from here I step up foot to foot, my left foot blocks, and I take my partner down. Now from here, I post my head, I step over my partner's body into a mounted position, and then from here, the finish comes in nice and easy.
Guys, it's amazing, like this very little detail that he showed here, that he traps my foot with his foot. This is almost like invisible jiu-jitsu, right? If you watch someone doing that, you can't see that. But then also he explained, everything makes sense. So just one more time, Gordon. So guys, look at the difference here. I have the single, right? If he goes straight forward as he said, I would end up flat on the mat. Once he goes sideways like that, trapping my foot, look where he is. He's already like, kind of like with his knees on the ground, almost with his knees on the ground going to the mount. So it's way easier for him to go to the mount. And then the submission is just there. So, and guys, one thing that's very impressive for me is how like, they use, I watched like John Danaher's system about the front headlock, and it's exactly how John showed. So it's very cool like to see how one student can do exactly what the instructor showed and be very, very successful on that. Many times we see people like taking what the instructor shows and changing a little bit, but I can see here that Gordon pretty much like did exactly what John says. So that's very, very cool. Thanks so much, Gordon.
Absolutely, thank you.